Hi everyone, today I want to talk to you about YouTube getting rid of the dislike button. If you keep your eyes and ears to the YouTube landscape, you will know that YouTube has been thinking about getting rid of the dislike button for a while now, and they are seemingly coming to terms with that becoming a reality. They are not formally getting rid of it. The only difference now is you can see the likes, assuming the creator has likes uh, visible, but the dislike button is only going to be seen by that creator. And they went on record to like kind of give like a half excuse. This has happened many times before. Uh, I have a very unique relationship with YouTube where like I'm like her ultimate simp and I try to please her and I chisel away every single day just to get an ounce of her affection, and then she just spits on me, and then I'm like, oh gross, and I was like, I'll try again tomorrow. And during all these years of me doing that, the platform has changed many times. I remember like just back in the day, like, oh, there was no end cards, and there was so many, you could have annotations, and there was so many different things, and that was years down the line. Before that, there was customizable pages. There was rating scales. There was a lot of different mechanics into YouTube back then, and it's all become pretty streamlined. And now they're even getting rid of the dislike button. And part of the reason that they were saying this was, oh well, a lot of people just use the dislike button to attack certain creators, and they just get mob mentality, and it's really bad for smaller creators when they have that happen to them. Um, so, and as a small YouTuber myself, I'm sure I might be one of very few creators who are small YouTubers. Your average person is not subscribed to more than a handful of channels who are at my level. Statistically, if you are on YouTube watching YouTube, you are watching one of the dozens of creators who have millions of subscribers. Odds are, statistically, you're not going to be watching that many guys like me. That's just how numbers work, unfortunately. But as a person in this position, I can guarantee you, YouTube does not give a sliver of a single tiny fuck about small creators. YouTube's algorithm, YouTube's marketing, uh, just the fact that they took away ad revenue from anyone less than 1,000 subscribers, and then they made it so they automatically get revenue even if you. This all points to the fact that they don't give a fuck. It's either you eventually get lucky enough to make it, and then you can like maybe play ball, and that ball is a very dangerous game, and anyone who doesn't even get the ball can die for all they care. That was dramatic, but yeah, that's and when I say die, I mean their content, because they give no incentive for small creators. And I don't want to make this a small YouTube rant, but just the fact that they angled this like, oh, we're helping small creators. And I can give a little bit of an insight on that perspective, because I have made videos before that I spent days or even weeks sometimes working on, and the dislike and like ratio will be like 50-50. I'll get like a couple hundred views, a bunch of people liked it, a bunch of people didn't like it, and a lot of the time the dislikes are, and they'll leave comments too sometimes that are even more insulting. The dislikes will usually be from people who just didn't really get what I was going for, or there's like little marketing things. Like there was a while where I was making content where, let's say I do a trailer video. I want to talk about the latest like Game of Thrones trailer or something. Instead of, I would market it as Game of Thrones like reaction video, and instead I would just give like a deep analysis and like something to me that was worth much more than a reaction video. But I know those videos perform well, so I marketed it that way. So it was supposed to be like, haha, you expected a shitty video, but I gave you a really cool video. That's how it was in my head. And then like to the layman who wanted to watch people get hype about Game of Thrones, they were just like, oh, I wanted a reaction, dislike, leave. So when that happens enough time, where you've had projects you spent a really long time on, and then like the like dislike ratio just makes it even more depressing. When I first heard this news, I was like, good. I was like, there is no service. There is nothing the dislike button will ever do me any good, other than like those specific examples where like it's a how-to video and stuff like that, where it actually is useful. There are select circumstances. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought this might not be a good idea, because YouTube has become more and more streamlined, like I was saying earlier. And now it's just starting to feel like all my social medias are the exact same thing. YouTube is way more concerned with chasing TikTok and doing all these other things that they have no business in, instead of actually like making their own content service viable. There's 1,000 little tricks. There is a million little things where I think, I wish YouTube did this. Like, oh, let's say I want to subscribe to somebody, but like I only want to subscribe to like one thing they do. Like maybe they do one series and the rest of them I don't really like. I wish I could just subscribe to that. Subscribe to like one series, one playlist, something like that. There's a million things like that where I think, oh, YouTube could become so much more. And instead of that, they do little things like YouTube Shorts. They remove features all the time. And now it's starting to feel like it's just another streaming service. Because when you go on a streaming service, there's just a bunch of play buttons, a bunch of thumbnails, and that's it. And like back in the day, the internet was a much more wild place, and the aesthetic of whatever the website is and all the features, it was all over the place. But now the fact that we can't have copyright issues, the fact that we can't upset anybody, now it's just all so surface level, and it's so fucking boring. And YouTube, as a place just to press buttons, they can't even make that interesting. It's all just crap. And the fact that we don't even have a dislike button now, it just kind of makes me feel like, oh, like if this would have happened like 5-6 years ago, I would have been like, okay, that's whatever. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, YouTube as a company, as a service, seems to be just getting worse. And now I'm afraid of change at all. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. If anything, I think it should be all videos should automatically have the dislike thing off. That way all these companies that are like, oh, well, that's how it automatically is, we don't have to show the dislike button. Or if there's like a little shy creator who's like, oh my god, I have dislikes, I don't want people to see my dislikes. Well, it's automatically off, so you can't blame me. But if you're like a normal person who just doesn't give a shit, you can just flick that on. There's a little setting there. Oh, turn that on for all my videos. Sure. Like I always enjoyed those memes, right? Where it's like 2 people dislike the video, and it's like, how can we dunk on 2 people in the comments who had the audacity to dislike this video? It'll be rescuing a cat from a tree, and then it would be like 2 dog lovers like or dislike this video. Little things like that. Like, again, at this point, you might as well turn comments off. You might as well turn the likes off, and then we can just become TikTok, and then boom, you got what you wanted, YouTube. But yeah, that's what I think of the dislike button being removed. I'll see you next time, and with that, I leave you.